Henry had filled out the form as a joke, or possibly boredom. It was 3 a.m. He was up. It was usual for Henry to be up at 3 a.m. He had watched every YouTube video he could stomach. He had watched the same 2 Lord of the Rings films he watched every night, and he had cereal for dinner. So when the suggestion to fill out a form for emotional help on a government website popped up rather rudely on his screen, he answered the questions, out of sarcasm mostly. Thus, when a box covered in air holes and smelling suspiciously damp arrived on his doorstep 2 days later, Henry was honestly surprised. The box opened easily and revealed a small feathered head with beady green eyes and a slightly crooked beak. A goose. They sent him a goose. Henry stared at it. It stared at Henry. There was a lanyard around its neck with a small card that said, Marnie, government official. There was a document lying on the bottom of the box which stated Marnie would be his emotional support animal for a trial period of 3 months. No returns. Do not sedate. There was a number to call. Marnie had pooed on the last 3 digits. It was useless anyway. When Henry did call, he was informed that the government had placed psycho-emotional services under the Department of Livestock Welfare due to budget cuts, and he had filled in a form, and there would be no return for 3 months. Henry stared at Marnie. Marnie stared at Henry. He sighed and pulled out a bag of frozen peas and placed them in a bowl for her. Marnie turned, waddled to the other side of the room, and began hissing at the back wall. Henry tried to call her. She turned her head and hissed at him, as though to tell him off for interrupting her conversation. Henry fell silent. The following excerpts are from a journal Henry kept during Marnie's stay. They read as follows. Day 1. The goose ignores the peas. She ignores the bread. I went to the pet store and got special feed. When I set it at her feet, she hissed at me, then flew to the bookshelf and ate page 47 of War and Peace. It felt symbolic. Day 3. I wanted to stay in bed today. I wanted to sleep in. The goose sat on my chest and honked in my face with her wings fully spread like some bizarre damp angel. I got up and put peas in her bowl. She ate half of Pride and Prejudice. It was a first edition. 3 months is too long. I miss Alice. Day 5. I fell asleep watching Lord of the Rings late last night. The goose slapped my face with her wings to wake me. I thought she was in distress. She wasn't. She's fine. She wanted me to stand next to her in the garden while she honked into the darkness. I think it might be a spiritual practice. I think she might be religious. Or deeply unwell. Day 8. I wanted to go for a walk. The goose insisted on coming. She harassed me and barricaded the door until I agreed. We went to the park. I stopped at our old spot under the oak. I wanted to stay longer, but the goose pecked at my feet, so we kept walking. It rained on the way home. Day 10. There's a stain on this page because she just came in and dropped a spider into my coffee. Is it a gift? A warning? I have my therapy appointment tomorrow. I can't miss it again. Must buy bread. Day 11. The goose met Dr. Rain. She pecked at her through the screen. I tried to send her out the room, but she sat on my lap instead. She's never done that before. She honked every time I said I feel fine. Dr. Rain took notes. Day 14. She only poos on expensive things. She's doing it on purpose. I know she is. Day 15. I didn't want to get up today. The goose forced me. She wouldn't leave me alone. She follows me everywhere, every single room. She pecked the word cope into my toast. Day 16. I cried in the shower this morning. She barged in and dropped a fish at my feet. We don't live near water. Where did she get the fish? Day 18. I screamed at her today. She put the stereo on and played Elvis, Alice's favorite. I tried to turn it off and she pecked at me. I chased her and she flew into my favorite photograph, the one with Alice in the park. The glass is broken and shattered all over the living room. I threw books at her. She dodged all of them. I told her to get out and she sat on the windowsill and looked at me. I cried and I told her I don't want her. I told her I miss being alone. She farted aggressively. I think she understands more than she lets on. Day 19. She locked me out of my phone. I don't know how. I have no proof. She doesn't have thumbs, but I know she did it. Day 20. Dr. Rain and the goose get along now. They talk about me in our therapy sessions, in front of me, I might add. I tried to say something while she was honking and Dr. Rain told me not to interrupt. Day 24. Marnie sleeps on my chest now. Her feet move in her sleep. I think she's hunting something in her dreams, possibly me. Day 26. Marnie hates documentaries, but I think she likes Love Island. We watch it sometimes. Day 28. She made a throne in the kitchen out of cereal boxes and she won't let me go near it. She sat there and watched while I made spaghetti. I don't think I'm allowed cereal anymore. Day 31. I had a nightmare last night. I woke up gasping. Marnie was on top of me, watching, protective, or waiting for my will to dissolve so she can have the apartment. Day 33. Marnie brought a pigeon home today. They stared at each other in the kitchen like exes at a party. I thought about leaving to give them some space, but the pigeon left soon after. I told Marnie no boys in the house after dark. She honked at me and bit my ear. It didn't hurt. Day 41. We have a shared enemy now, Margaret from downstairs. I always despised her, Alice did too. This morning on my way down, she called me lazy and ranted about the problems of my generation. Marnie pooped on her doormat in a perfect spiral. Day 47. I put a scarf on today. Marnie tried to eat it. I took it off. She nodded at me. Day 50. She pecked a hole in the apartment wall. Jerry was nice about it though. He said he thinks Marnie is attempting to expand her territory. I agreed. Day 64. It's Alice's birthday. I went to lay flowers at her stone. Marnie came with. I was scared she was going to eat the flowers or poo or hiss at Alice or something. I spoke to Alice, and I wept. Marnie stood next to me. When we got home, I wanted to watch Lord of the Rings, but Marnie took the disc out of my hand and broke it with her beak. I yelled. She ignored me. She turned the stereo on and played Elvis. I couldn't move. She waddled to the middle of the room and opened her wings, and she began to sway. It was slow and soft, but then she looked at me and honked, and then honked again. I joined her. I joined her in the middle of the room. I spread out my arms, and we swayed, and then she flapped her wings, and she was hovering around me, and I was moving my feet and twirling, and I could feel tears on my cheeks, but I was laughing too. I heard myself laughing. I laughed today, Alice. Day 93. A letter from the government arrived today. It had all the details necessary for sending Marnie back. I gave it to her to eat. She swallowed it whole, and I sipped my coffee. Year 4. I'm going on dates now. I tried to cook a woman dinner last night. Marnie hissed at her and stole all the forks. I'll try again next week. Obviously, this wasn't the one. Year 6. Marnie is starting to like Sarah. She only bites her when she leaves. I think it's a good sign.